All right, so I gave you PTSD off air, but let's get it for episode 2 of season 2.
Oh my gosh. I'm still coming. Oh, you'll just need a second.
You betcha. You know your name still listed as practice on this.
Yeah, I was.
And no practice. Talk about practice.
C-Mac, baby. How about that? I want to say this to start. Your brother kind of killed it in the draft.
Oh, yeah, he did great.
I felt like he had a solid squad there.
It is funny when I'm giving the kids a bath and he texts me, you have 40 seconds, Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels. I'm like, Josh Allen. Rinse your hair, wipe your face. I think Josh Allen's the safer pick here. Can you put that down?
Yeah. Put that ducky down.
Oh, man.
Did you think, is that, I don't know though, man. You never know. Jaden Daniels might pop off.
He might. The only difference I have between the two, because it's very close, is Josh Allen's done it for 5 years. And Jaden Daniels done it for 1 year. So that's the only difference between the two for me, is for fantasy purposes only, is one guy's done it one time and was great. One guy's done it 5 times and is great, and seems like will be great again this year. Neither of them have any nagging injuries. And Washington, McLaurin was holding out, so that might throw off some rhythm early in the season. Not a big believer in Debo. I think he's over the hill. I could be wrong.
I thought you loved Debo.
Yeah, you were freezing up on me. Dun. I'm sorry, we'll cut that.
I have high-speed internet.
That's
I
what
have
I'm
Marriott Bonvoy high-speed internet.
supposed to get 250 megabits per something.
Let me tell you, I pay $2 a night for this internet. What's going on?
It's ridiculous. Well, did you pay under the table? Did you pay $25 million under the table?
Ooh.
All right, so I'll say this
What
about
was that? What happened?
I will say this. So the story goes, allegedly, so Pablo Torre, the journalist on a podcast of some sort, said that Steve Ballmer was paying Kawhi Leonard $25 million. I'm not sure if it was a year or total. Do you know offhand?
It sounded like $7 million a year for 4 years.
Okay. So
yeah,
paid him under the table using a fake tree company that then filed bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy!
And I'll tell you this, if I were a multi-billionaire like Steve Ballmer, whose worth is in, the tens of billions of dollars, and I'm worth more than basically every other owner in the league, why not, man? What's to stop me from doing this? This happens in soccer all the time. Manchester City is owned by a city-state, which the sponsor is the airlines, so they pump money in that way, and then they're sponsored by other. Visit the Emirates is like, and the stadium's sponsored by them too. Like, I don't know, a little bit of corruption's fine for me in sports.
I agree 100%. I'm fine with it. I mean, I think they're blowing it out of proportion. I think there's a story behind it, right? And Cuban, I don't know if you saw Cuban posted on X about it. He had a pretty good explanation. I'll try to find it. Yeah. But
explanation.
Dude, I guarantee you, I mean, look around the league, like the endorsement deals, even take a big step back. All right. Think about Nike.
James Harden.
Nike sponsors the league. Yeah, take a James Harden step back. You got the Nike swoosh on every jersey. And then they're also paying players endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing. It's similar. And I wouldn't be shocked if people in the league, they own stock in Nike if they can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a public company, right? So
got to think, follow the money, I mean, You think about it too. Do you think Nike would rather have LeBron in Cleveland or LeBron with the Lakers? You you wonder about some of these deals in free agency specifically, not so much like Luka being traded necessarily, because it all comes back to that for me. But you think about these free agency deals, and I feel like it's always going to LA, which, brings us back to Kawhi. I love this picture here that you sent me. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Share screen. Oh,
man, look at that.
Old Tiger.
That girl's going to become famous just from that one picture.
Kawhi collecting his $7 million tree plant every year.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. At the end of the day, I mean, I think Stephen A. said it best. He's like, he paid him $28 million so he'd sit the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't playing.
Heck, bad investment. My question then becomes, so the league's got to do something, because you can't just circumvent the cap rules. So my question would be is, what do you think the right punishment should be? And what do you think the actual punishment will be?
Well, I think there doesn't necessarily have to be a punishment if it's legal and it falls within, I guess, the CBA. That'd be right, the CBA for the NBA. If it falls within their agreement. But worst case scenario, you wouldn't let Tyronn Lue go for a year because it wasn't his deal.
Right.
I don't think they'd get to the point where they'd force Ballmer to sell the team based on that. I think that's a little bit outrageous. Unless he truly is guilty and other owners are like, hey, man, that's messed up. They can vote him out. I think having CP3 there for this year is already the worst punishment they can have.
Look, we're already dealing with this, okay? I first, my initial knee-jerk reaction was, I mean, there's a difference between off the court stuff and on the court stuff, and this is blatant on the court cheating. You know what I mean? Like, this is circumventing the rules of the game. Owner gets arrested for DUI. People are like, whatever. It's off the court. They might fine him, but this is direct cheating, violating the integrity of the game. Not that Kawhi would have signed elsewhere for less money, but so my first thought was like, they're not going to make him sell the team, are they?
Yeah. I think that'd be worst case, right?
That'd be pretty extreme. They might suspend him for a couple of years, which I think everyone in the world would be fine with.
Right.
Give him a year-long suspension, and they don't have any first rounders for the next year. I think they have they're 27, they're 29, and they're 30. So I think they're missing 26 and 28. I think that's still part of the Paul George deal or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe draft picks, big fine, probably suspension from games for the next year is my prediction. If they really want to come down hard, I can see them forcing something harder, but I don't think they're going to make him sell the asset.
Yeah. And it seems like they may come down on Kawhi. Like, you get like a 50-game suspension or something that you feel.
The 50 games he was going to sit out anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's load management for him anyways, so they'd probably applaud it. And then I don't know if you could back fine him you couldn't really fine him $28 million, but I don't know. I think it's a sunk cost. I think it's going to be not swept under the rug. I just don't think it's going to be. I think it's news right now.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, the Pablo guy, he kind of went all in on this though.
I like him. That's good.
You're kind of risking your career though, in a sense.
Yeah, you just need one big story every couple of years to make your money.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying though, because like Adam Schefter and all these insiders, all it is agents feeding them information.
Yeah,
and then they're just retweeting what the agents say or what the owners. So the owners will feed them information, and he'll tweet that out too. So no one has a scoop anymore. It's just the big time sports. All them insiders are just guys that are fed information. So this is an actual scoop that he went and found the bankruptcy filings and looked at it and did some actual investigative reporting. So props to him for that. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him around the horn too. He almost won his first episode. I remember that.
He was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want
not as good as Kevin Blackstone, but it is what it is.
Well, you know what I'm saying. We all know the truth on that.
Yeah.
Kevin Blackstone was a Dallas reporter for a long time, so this is a nice switch to the Micah Parsons trade. So what were your reactions when it first went down, when you heard about the haul they got? You know, what are you thinking for the Cowboys? I'll give my opinion, obviously, here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't extremely shocked, to be honest, just because it's Jerry. Mm-hmm. And I had just watched the documentary, so I was already kind of like in his head. You know what I mean? I
have a theory on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and a lot of that could have been propaganda for all that's going on right now. But I don't know. I think it was we'll see what happens. They got an interior guy, which, you know, he's my age or a couple years old. And I think he's your age.
Yeah, Kenny Clark. Yep.
Yeah. Two first rounders, which is not a lot back. I think you had a good point. We should have at least got 3 first rounders back for that, you know, generational of a player. There you go.
Here we go. Here's the return.
2 first round picks and Kenny Clark. But I will say this, after seeing pictures of Micah with the Packers and at practice and whatnot, I don't think he's happy. Like, he got paid, but I think he's probably thought that he was going to stay with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think that's where most people landed, because they did the same thing with CeeDee Lamb, and they did the same thing with Dak Prescott, where they drug it out all the way into September, basically. Sign the guys right before the season start, kick off, everyone's happy. You're in the news cycle the whole time. It's great. I thought that was the case. Like, I thought this was going to, if you will, Casey, I thought this was going to happen the same exact thing, where you got a number, he's got a number, you drag it out, you threaten in the media, well, I can franchise him 2 times. You drag it out, you sign him. So what I think changed, why I think Micah Parsons was traded, is because of the Netflix documentary, The Gambler and His Cowboys. Because Jerry Jones in the press conference has brought up 2 or 3 times the Herschel Walker trade. Now, if you are plugged into Dallas media like I am and have listened to 100 Jerry Jones press conferences over the last 20 years or however long, he has not brought that trade up in forever. Mm-hmm. I do not remember him bringing that up anytime this millennium. And so to bring it up now, all of a sudden, after watching the documentary, I think watching that made his wheels turn. Like, I don't have to pay this guy this money. I can get some draft picks and call it good. So I 100% believe that Netflix is why Micah Parsons is with the Packers. So that's number 1. Number 2, like I said in the text message, I don't like the haul they got and the timing of it. So the difference between the Eagles and the Cowboys, and why the Eagles are able to always sign their guys and have cap room, is because they sign their guys in March and April and get those deals done before the NFL draft and before free agency has ended. And so you're like, okay, we've signed it. This is how much cap space we got. We need an interior defensive lineman. Here's what's available. Boom, boom, boom. You make a plan. Instead, you're held in contract limbo where you're like, I got to pay Micah somewhere between 40 and 50. And I'm going to drag it out to try to get some leverage, which never works. And now I can't sign anybody, even though they end up with cap space. And so it's just bad business timing, because if you traded him even to the Packers before the draft, you get an impact player this year, a first rounder this year. And you help your new coach out and your new defensive coordinator this year. I do think you could have gotten more. The comparison, you know, Khalil Mack got a little less. Jamal Adams, they got a little more for him at the last 2 big defensive trades, but neither of the defensive trades really worked out for the teams that traded for the star. So I understand that the price might actually be lower. Like Khalil Mack didn't really work out. And so I understand that the price might be a little lower. Hearing from the team captains and what the rumors are, Micah was a pain. So everyone seems to be like, you want the talent, but man, I think his podcast annoyed people. I think his general attitude annoyed people. He would kind of call people out on his podcast like, oh yeah, we can't stop the run. Well, you got a bunch of dogs in the middle there trying to stop the run, and you're dissing them on your podcast. Like, It's not a good look. And then you have Jordan Love on your podcast after he beat you in the playoffs the year before. Like, what are you doing there, man? Like, you're supposed to hate that guy.
Yeah, that's pretty vanilla. And from the sound of it, Jerry and Schottenheimer, they've been talking about it for a while. The timing was, I think, terrible. I agree as well. But one thing I'm curious about, like, because I think it paralleled with the Herschel Walker thing in a weird manner. Like, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this feels like it clicked somehow.
Right.
I'm wondering is there any kind of caveat that he was a rookie going for, like, because with the Herschel Walker thing, the thing people didn't know about that only the two owners did was if they released those 5 players, they got 5 draft picks.
Right.
So is there anything with this that's like, if we release Kenny Clark, we get another draft pick or something? Or
Kenny Clark is actually a pretty good run stopper, really good guy, like a guy you'd want on the Cowboys. He just had a bad year last year, and he's kind of the wrong side of the aging diagram. If you will. His career is going to start descending. Now, I think he'll be better than he was last year.
Right.
But I think he's a good player. Like, I have no problem if we would have traded for Kenny Clark. Just like, it's not the Luka trade, right? It's not that egregious. It's we wish you would have gotten more, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
How many sacks? Do you know how many sacks Micah Parsons has in his 5 playoff games? 5 playoff games?
Yeah, the playoffs game that he actually did had 0, right?
1, just 1.
Yeah. He did not perform well in the playoffs, and even Skip Bayless, who I usually hate, was like, he really only had his first year in the league. He tore it up. He's like, if you look at the next 3 years, the league kind of figured him out. They ran it down their throat, and then you know how he is. But he was making a lot of the same points that Jerry came out and made the next day in the press conference. So I thought that was
Jerry listened to Skip. Jerry's like, hey, you got a good point there.
I mean, Skip covered the Cowboys for what, 20 years?
Forever, yeah. They hated him.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman still hates him. So Troy Aikman will never do the promos did the promos for Skip and Shannon's show. He always was. He always made Joe Buck do it. I think he still hates him. The thing I will say about that is, I don't know if the league figured Mike out as much as they just figured out the Cowboys couldn't stop the run, because the Cowboys have always been, in the last 3 years, I believe, in the bottom 3 of spending on the defensive line. They're like 29, 32, 30 in that range. So they never spend any money on it. So of course teams like San Francisco, Miami, Detroit are just like, they ain't got anybody there. Let's just run it up the gut some more. So yeah, that's partially why you can. I mean, if you run the ball and you're in the lead, that was my problem with Dan Quinn defense, and why I'm not a believer in the Dan Quinn defense. Is it only works if you're ahead. It's a gambling defense that relies on turnovers and
but don't break kind of defense.
It's more it's a little more risk taking, I guess, because it doesn't try to stop the run. It wants to blitz and it wants to run man to man and try to like Deron Bland had those 6 pick sixes that year. The Cowboys were in the lead. Micah played great under him because the Cowboys were in the lead. The offense gets you the lead. The defense plays aggressive and gets turnovers. And then that's why the Cowboys, when that year they lost to the Packers was so shocking, because they were curb stomping teams, because they get ahead 7-0, 14-0, get a couple turnovers. All of a sudden it's 28-0 and you're just stomping them. But once you get behind to San Francisco, to Miami, to Detroit, the defense, and then in Green Bay, of course, was a debacle. They gave up nearly 50 points and just got trucked. So I see the weaknesses. They're trying to fix the weaknesses. I wish that Micah Parsons was still on the team, but this one, I can see it being okay.
Yeah, me too.
Especially because apparently he's got some stress on his back and has already had to do an injection of some sort to potentially play. I was reading that earlier. I'm like, man, his back might actually be really messed up, and maybe they bailed on the guy because of injuries and didn't really want to pay him.
we'll see what happens. But I'm not. I didn't think it was the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah. Well, it is almost football season. It kicks off tomorrow.
Jeez.
I'm so excited. What is there any games? I mean, we're obviously the Cowboys and the Eagles. We'll see what the new offense and defense looks like for Dallas. We'll see if the Eagles are hungry. We'll actually get to see football, which is kind of crazy. So obviously want to talk about that game. There's a lot of good games on the docket. Do any of them stand out to you?
That's what I'm looking at right now. Game of the week. Oof, I forgot about that. Ravens-Bills. This is probably going to be the week 1 banger.
Lions-Packers too. It's going to be
I like Lions-Packers. That's probably 1 and 2 right there. And then, I'm always interested to see how Joe Shiesty looks. The Bengals. See what happens with this Browns experiment. See if they put in Shadur somehow.
I don't think Shadur is going to play the first month and a half of the season.
But I think game of the week is probably going to be Ravens-Bills. Coming right off the rematch from the playoffs there. It's really hard to tell in the NFL week 1 who's going to be what. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, if you're one of my subscribers on my fantasy football blog, you will know that don't panic after week 1 because there's virtually no preseason.
Yeah.
Starters barely play, so there's some weird stuff. So obviously, Cowboys-Eagles, we'll get to see how Dak looks in his first game since tearing his quad. We'll get to see what George Pickens, Javonte Williams, if he's back from his injury officially, or if he's just forever 2 steps slower than his rookie year. We'll see how aggressive Shoddy is against a great defensive, against a great defense. And Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, always seems to have Dak's number, even when he was in Denver and previously. So I'm really excited about that game. I think the Cowboys are actually going to be a little better than expected. Their over-under win total is 7, I think 7.5. And I think they're a 9-win team, 8-win team. The schedule's hard. 9. So, but I think they're better than 7.5. 12 wins, and then everything fell off last year. But, the first 6 games, the Cowboys play the Eagles. That's a loss. The Giants should be a win. The Bears should be a win. The Packers, probably a loss. The Jets should be a win. And the Panthers should be a win. So you could easily be looking at, 4-2. And so, shoot, if that's the case,
it's not bad.
Building belief and momentum. So interested to see how the Cowboys look both offensively and with the new defense. It's going to be Eberflus plays more that bend, don't break, cover 3, doesn't send a lot of pressure. So kind of reverse of what Mike Zimmer did and reverse of what Dan Quinn did as well. For the Eagles, we'll see what their new offensive coordinator looks like. They ran the ball more than anybody last year, which was part of with Saquon having nearly 500 touches. I think they're going to be a little more pass heavy just because you can't be any more run heavy, number 1. But that's the team to beat in the NFC. They stomped the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They stomped the Commanders. The Rams were the only team that, came close to them in the playoffs in that crazy snow game. I just think they're the team to beat in the NFC for sure.
I agree 100%. And I think this week 1, they're probably going to donkey stomp the Cowboys.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Thinking. Well, one other comment on the Eagles too, which I don't like. I don't like this. Have you seen the thing that they're not going to celebrate the banner? That's just annoying. They're kind of going overkill with that.
Stay focused.
You're just not going to acknowledge that you won the Super Bowl last year. That's for the fans in the city. Go out there and enjoy the moment, and then put it behind you.
I love it when the Mavs won the NBA title. They milked that for the whole year. They're like, JJ Barrea's back in town. Let's have a party. Oh, this guy's 100%. Back in town. Let's have a party. Let's do another ring ceremony. They had 7 ring ceremonies that year because of everyone that left. Chandler's back in town. Ring ceremony. So yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. Just celebrate the moment, and then once the moment's over, refocus.
Yeah, because they may run out of gas early. I mean, and that could be a reason why, Saquon and Jalen Hurts have a killer week 1, but they may also burn out by week 8 with that mentality. Doing that week in, week out for years on end. It's like the guys who go to the finals in the NBA. After 2 to 3 years, you're burned out. I mean, you saw what happened to the Warriors, the KD Warriors. The only one who could do that was LeBron.
The other, I was going to ask. Oh, yeah. The other one I'm interested in, the Bengals. So the last 2 years, the Bengals have started 1-3 and 0-3. So they actually, Joe Burrow played in the preseason, and they actually gave some people some snaps. So I just want to see if they come out firing, because last year they started against the Patriots and scored 10 points and lost, and then played the Chiefs the next week and lost by 1. The year before, they played the Browns in week 1 and got stomped 24-3. So it's like, y'all are this close to beating the Chiefs again in the AFC Championship game, and I think your offense is going to be pretty legendary this season. I think your defense is going to be atrocious. So, I mean, let's get off to a hot start if you're Joey B.
Yeah, and from everything I've heard, at least with the Browns, it sounds like they're in tank mode. Yeah, that could be BS, but hopefully the Bengals can get off to a better start, because it sucks to see them not win. Because Super Bowl 3 years ago, and then the 1-3 start and the 0-3. It's like, you want to see them do well.
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
The Chiefs have been to 3 straight.
Okay.
And then they lost the Chiefs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's right.
We'll see how they do. So yeah, the other games of the week I'm really interested in: Lions, Packers, and then, like you had mentioned, Ravens, Bills. For Lions, Packers, what's the Lions offense going to look like? For the Packers, what's Micah going to look like? I mean, that's a pretty heavyweight matchup. I think NFC Championship game will be Eagles versus one of these two teams.
Right. You think the Packers are that good offensively?
I think they're really good offensively. I think they have their running game is great. I think they drafted Matthew Golden, the receiver, in the first round. I think he'll be pretty good. Their problem has been they have a lot of good receivers, no great receivers. So they went to try to get an alpha. So I appreciate that, because Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, they just all seem to be guys.
I forgot they got Josh Jacobs too now.
Yeah, Jacobs was a phenomenal last year. He should be phenomenal again this year. They just run. That's what part of it was last year. They ran the ball so much because Jacobs was just torching teams. So they should be good. The Lions, like I said, they won, what were they last year? I can't remember if they were 15 or 14. Because
it was just so sad to watch them lose in the playoffs.
Oh, they had so many injuries was the problem. They couldn't, their whole defense. Yeah, they were 15-2. The Vikings were 14-3. Their defense was just shattered at the end of the year. So Commanders got the lead. Jared Goff played horribly in that game and threw 4 picks. So I want to see how they rebound after, really I kind of hate a little bit the championship mentality of, you didn't win the Super Bowl, it's a bad season. Because that's 15-2 is a great season. And it was so much fun to watch. They scored almost a league record number of touchdowns. They were just scoring like crazy. It was awesome. It was great football to watch. The Cowboys were so bad last year, I could just watch other teams and feel great. So it was really fun to do that. And then, who are you picking? Ravens, Bills. Who are you feeling on that one?
Dude, I'm big on the Bills this year. I feel like, I've bet my life on Lamar Jackson the last couple of years. He did great for me in fantasy football. But I'm kind of over these guys. Yeah, I did. And I also lost in the first round.
So, I was coming for you, and I got sniped in the first round.
Or I guess I lost in my first round. But I'm going to go Bills. I feel like they've got the better squad. I really like their general manager. I think Bean is his last name, and just listen to the interviews with him, how he's built out the players on the defense. He's put weapons around Josh Allen, and the team has gotten younger within the last couple of years. It's like last year was kind of like the refresh button, especially getting rid of Diggs, and so I feel like I think last year we said it was his turn to win MVP. I feel like it's their turn to win the chip. I mean, I'd love to see them at least go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'd like to see them beat the Chiefs. So I'm rooting big time for the Bills. And Lamar Jackson, I'm almost over the experiment. Not that he'll be there for another decade, but I feel like they've got to switch something up at some point. I'm losing hope.
They did really well last year putting in Derrick Henry. They lost a close one to the Bills. But yeah, I don't know what it is about the voodoo with the Chiefs that seems to always have the number. The thing about the Bills is, they have a top, according to PFF, Pro Football Focus, they have a top 8 run game. They have just guys at receivers, their problem, but they have a top 3 offensive line. They have a top 5 defensive line. They're stacked and ready to win this year. If you're good on the O-line and the D-line, you got the quarterback. I mean,
I think the big receiver may be the only thing they're missing. The Coleman's in his second year. I don't really think he's not much of a dog, but they did just re-sign Gabe Davis. I don't know if you saw that.
Interesting. Yeah, the legendary 4-touchdown game with the last-minute comeback for the Chiefs. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he may be, he's a little older, but he could be the weapon. I'm rooting for the Bills, and I got faith in them.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Steph Diggs a couple years ago, which looks like a genius move right now. I think I'm big. The game is won in the trenches still. They got top 5 offensive and defensive line. They have a top 5 quarterback. I mean, they're good at the positions. They're good at running back. They have great depth there. So even James Cook goes down. Ray Davis comes in. Yeah, I think they're stacked and ready for a deep run. You want to go ahead and make our Super Bowl picks?
Oof. Yeah. Let me ponder on it for a second.
Well, I'm ready. You got? I think the Bills.
I know you're ready.
I'm ready, man.
You gonna go Bills?
I said Chiefs last week, but the more I think about it, I want it to be the Bills so bad.
Yeah.
And man, I think I'm going to go Bills, Eagles. Beagle Super Bowl.
Man, I hate to almost want to replicate you. I'm going to go Bills for sure. AFC. Mm-hmm. I feel like if it was Bills Lions, it's going to be way too emotional of a game. So
for you or for me?
Just for everyone who watches.
I just want both teams to win.
I don't know. I kind of want to take a wild horse out of the NFC.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Bills, and who comes out of the NFC is gonna be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, a little Maker Bayfield.
I think Maker Bayfield, Mike Evans is gonna get his moment. He's gonna solidify his gold jacket. People have been hating on the kid. He's got 10 years with 1,000 yards, right?
That is the
9?
Epitome of dog. It's 10. That's the epitome of dog.
Yeah. I've always loved their defense. I feel like the defense never really, they never really dropped off after Brady. And Baker's found his home. So I'm going Bucks, baby. I'm going Bucks, Bills. Super Bowl.
Man, that'd be an exciting one right there. Lots of points.
They may have to go to the wild card, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, the Buccaneers top 6 in running backs depth. They're number 2 in wide receiver depth. I don't see them anywhere in the top 10 anywhere else. So the defense, they're going to be in a lot of shootouts, I think. but we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I'm excited for there to be football.
It's going to be great.
Now, if you want to shift gears, do 5 minutes of college football. I got 5 minutes.
Do it. How did your boy Arch Manning do?
As a generational Manning hater, I enjoyed that. Now, Steve Sarkisian, I think he's 1-9 against top 6 opponents. There's something like I guess he played number 6. So he does not win the big game. Now, you got to get to the big game to play the big game.
True.
So there's some of that I always hate. There's like, well, you can't win the Super Bowl because he lost 2 Super Bowls. I'm like, well, he got 2 Super Bowls. But it was a real conservative game. It seemed like they didn't want to make any mistakes. They didn't go for it. I think they had a 4th down near halftime, near the 50, and they punted. And you're like, you really need some points there, man. I thought my phone, because I couldn't watch the first half, I thought my phone was glitching, that it was 0-0 for so long. I was like, what's going on?
It was a flat. I would say that. It felt like a really flat game from both sides. I watched the whole thing, unfortunately.
Ohio State won the game. Best team in the country, obviously, so far. Texas still got to figure out the quarterback, still got to figure out the offense a little bit. I cannot believe that a guy who has his first, real start on the road in Ohio State did not perform well. That's shocking.
Yeah.
Sure. Bill Belichick was horrible. That was hilarious how bad that went.
What did did you see what Bruce Arians said?
No, what did he say?
Where'd you get that?
I just found it online.
Oh,
great.
You just throwing that up there? Is it supposed to say something?
It says Bill Belichick on it. What more do you want? Jeez, all right.
What did Bruce Arians said, you can't make chicken salad with chicken shit. Pretty much saying they had to piece together a team. They got 70 new people.
Yeah.
They had, I think it was 40 from the transfer portal and 30 freshmen.
Oh, wow.
So like a completely brand new team. The first drive, the quarterback, he looked like Tua. And I was like, holy crap, man, they look incredible. Yeah. And then it was literally just like TCU made one adjustment. They could not run the ball the rest of the night. I was like, wow, that was quick. He's like, oh, wait a minute. We're only playing with 10 guys.
Were you supposed to be in on that defense? Huh.
Yeah. Hey, you're a linebacker, right? Get in there.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. Other teams I was interested in, I'm following Texas Tech and Texas A&M, obviously this year in Florida, my traditionals. Oop. Texas Tech looked great. They have one of the highest NIL spendings. I think they spent $25 million on this team. So,
wow.
One day we'll do a segment on how that built around. Basically, like one former offensive lineman is an oil billionaire and just spending tons of money on Texas Tech athletics to try to get them to be a national power, which they're kind of doing the Florida State route, which we'll get to in a second of. We play in a second-rate conference. If we just win our conference, we're there. Now, it's not the same as Florida State in the 90s where they played Miami early in the season and then played nobody the rest of the season, then played Florida at the end of the season. And you're like, okay, we win 2 games, we're going to the Natty. But, it's a pretty dominant start so far playing a cupcake. So we'll see how they do. A&M kind of got ran over a little bit by UTSA.
I wouldn't say ran over a little bit. I will say that
I had like 100
the fact
yards.
that I just can't watch the games because I see that we're in a shootout with UTSA, and I'm like, this is why I don't watch A&M football because we're in a shootout with UTSA. We're gonna go here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna go 4-0. We're gonna move up to the top 10. We're gonna lose our next 3 games, and then we're gonna beat number 1 Alabama.
I got it all planned out.
And then we're going to start the season over. That's exactly what's going to happen. Then we're going to be 5-3, and then we're going to finish probably 8-4 or 7-4.
Yeah, you avoid Bama this year, actually, which is too bad because they don't even.
Okay, what about Georgia? Do we play Georgia?
No, you play LSU, Florida, and South Carolina, who's really good, and Notre Dame. So you'll probably beat
we'll beat number 1 LSU.
Yeah, so you'll lose to Notre Dame, beat Auburn, beat Mississippi State, lose to Florida, beat Arkansas, beat LSU, move into the top 5, lose to Missouri, Texas, and South Carolina to close the season.
Yeah, it'll be a great year. And we'll be in the Alamo Bowl and probably lose to West Virginia.
There you go. Got it all planned out.
Yeah. Or Tech. If we lose to Tech, that's...
Is it bad to lose to Tech? Y'all got beat every year by Tech when you were in the Big 12. I don't want to hear that.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did.
We used to beat the tar out of Tech.
No, not in...
The only year we lost to them was when they had Michael Crabtree, and even back when they had... they threw for 6,000 yards a year. No, dude, they never beat us.
I guarantee you, because we used to watch that.
Look up the record.
First of all, let's see the history. So A&M obviously dominated early. Oh my gosh, just give me the freaking...
Looking it up.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm talking about specifically. I'm talking about the Mike Leach era. So that's...
We can look at it from 2000 to 2020.
Well, I mean, you stopped playing in 2011. So Leach came in, I think, 2001. Tech wins. Okay. A&M wins. Tech wins. Tech wins. Mike Leach is gone. A&M wins.
There's no way.
Mike Leach dominated A&M.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like every year. But even back to 95, they started... look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 14 went to Tech.
Okay, that's quite a bit. Yeah. All right, you got that one. You know who went to Tech?
Who?
My grandma.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
He's always saying, "Get your guns up, Casey."
Yeah. Yep. She was a Red Raider.
Well, there you go.
So I got a little blood in me, a little red blood.
There you go.
So woo.
Exciting kicking off the NFL season. College football kicked off. We're back, baby.